basically, when you vacuum the floor, if it gets wet, you don't have stuff sticking to the floor when you're finishing up. I mean, even if you vacuum, there's still going to be some sort of residue, but it's not going to be as much. Now, that is done, and it was really quick because this org is awesome. Some vacuums take a little longer, but just be patient with them, and they'll get the job done just fine as well. Alright, so now, I am going to act as if this is a customer's home. I would usually I do the kitchen first. I don't go into the bathrooms without doing the kitchen first unless I have help and they're doing the kitchen and I'm doing the bathrooms and dusting. Then I dust first and then go to the bathrooms. But for now, we're just doing bathrooms, so I'm going to show you guys. Alright. So now, I have my gloves on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and just so you know, a lot of customers have a lot of things down here. When they have a lot of things down here, then you just want to put, you know, anything up on the counter or sink onto the floor, or better yet, if they have something that you can sit it on, I would usually sit it on top of something because the floor might be nasty or something and they wouldn't want their things on the floor. So, okay. I'm just gonna since I'm gonna put this out here. It's my makeup bag. Alright. And then I have this stuff. Alright, I'm just gonna sit my stuff. As you can see, I have my bucket here with my dental hygiene things. And I always take them out of the bathroom because, as you know, we do number 2s, and the bathroom is actually the most, has the most bacteria in it. So I don't keep these things in the bathroom usually. Sometimes they're in there, but, you know, if I remember, I take it out and, you know, do it that way. So I'm going to finish taking these things off of the counter. And when you're in the cleaning business, you have to move as fast as you can, but also take your time, you know, as much as you can, because you don't want to break anything, you don't want to drop things. So, okay. And also, usually before I do this, I usually take towels or anything out of there, or basically, you know, at least fold them up. Because I'm going to be spraying. You know, you don't want to spray someone's towel. Alright. Oh, and by the way, these are some more rags that I have. I actually got these from Donjon. .com. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that, but that's a great place to get commercial things. I'm going to put that in the bag. Okay. Alright, so now, my hand rag. Alright, so now that I have everything out of the way, I can start cleaning. So first of all, I learned a lot of different techniques from a lot of different companies because I worked for several companies over the years. And I just took, you know, what I could take from those companies, the techniques, and I just applied them and put my own swag on it. So, you know, I'm gonna show you now. Okay, first of all, I just learned this technique, and it's actually great. Oh, and also try to take the tissue paper out because you're gonna be spraying, like I said. And females, please don't spray around your toilet paper. Okay. Now, first of all, I'm gonna do the comment. And if there were a ring, but of course there wouldn't be here. But if there were a ring, I would come in and use this. But since there isn't a ring, I don't need to use that today. So I'll just use my toilet bowl brush, which I got from, I got this from Lowe's. These are awesome toilet bowl brushes. You hardly even have to use that back, and they get up under the rim so well that it's just awesome. All right. And be careful not to splash yourself. All around, all up under there. You gotta look under there as well, even if you have to bend all the way over. Just make sure you get up under the rim really well. As you can see, it's dirty. It's probably time to change that. All right, I'm gonna put this back like that. Okay, and now that's there. The toilet is last. I'm gonna just leave that there like that. And I used to spray, I used to pre-treat first. If this were, I'm going to do this as if this were a really grimy bathroom. So, as I said, let's just pretend that this actually has strong bleach in it. And let's pretend that there was something like mold or something. I know you guys have seen mold before, so, and dust, when it piles up here. You want to just take this and target those areas. Because you're going to come back to it, but you're going to let it sit. Now, as you can see, I targeted that. And then I'm going to spray here inside of the sink. Right here. Just right around there. Make sure you get a good coat and let it sit. Because you're going to... Oh, and also if you have anything in between those cracks, spray there too. Any areas where you see something, just spray around there. Okay, and we're going to let that sit and come back to it. And now I'm going to pre-treat the tub. Okay, so basically in this tub, I have these towels, but I clean them pretty, you know, often. So I don't have the black stuff or the pink stuff that usually builds up there. But usually if it were, I would kind of just spray around there. And if the whole wall were like that, the room would get full of bleach smell. I'm just going to tell you now. It is true, but it's worth it. Just make sure you ventilate. Alright, so also, some tubs or showers gets built up around here, so you want to spray that as well, or around there. You want to spray that and that. Can you see down in the tub? All right, and then you want to spray the drain as well, because my drain actually has nothing there. And you can spray the little bit of brine there if you want, because when you come back, that should be actually taken care of already without the extra scrub. All right, that's done. And I have a mat in here. I noticed a lot of people have these mats, and they get buildup underneath here, underneath these things. Now, get scrubbing bubbles, but it needs to be with bleach. It needs to be the bleach kind. And just kind of spray that too. You could set it down in the tub just to be safe, so you don't spray yourself, and just kind of spray it. Get close to it so you're not using too much. And you're really targeting it. Alright, and then we're going to let that sit and then come back to it. I'm just going to put that there. Okay, so now I have my Dawn soap, my Dawn spray, and I have my Panolin Max Aromas. And also, I have my vinegar, water. Actually, I infused some alcohol in this, and this is the first time I did this, so I'm about to find out what it's like. Alright, I just need my rags here. And you can actually, sometimes the floor gets kind of wet and grimy, so you can hang your rags up, you know, so they're not all over the floor. And what I usually do, I would have been dusting usually by this time. I would have my dusting rags here in my apron. And also my glass rag here in my apron. And now, I am going to start. You need at least 2 rags, one dry and one wet. I usually like to use the Walmart rags for the dry because they pick up so well. I'm telling you, guys have to try these. Okay, so, and usually I have color code, so I'm going to use a pink one. So they're not both yellow, you know. Usually I do the color code so that I don't get the rags mixed up. You know, the wet and dry. But in this case, I would have known because one rag is smaller than the other. But, okay, so now, usually I would spray with this first, but I stopped doing that. I'm just going to do the mirror first. That's what I do now. Alright. Quick spray and wipe. And also get your glass rag. And this is when you get detailed with the glass rag. And it picks up really well. Well, I didn't really see a big difference in infusing those 2 things. But and sometimes you have to get it maybe twice on certain areas. Alright. That's the best that mirror gets. It has a little paint on it, that's why I say that, but I don't know if you could tell in the camera, but it does. Where they paint it, it just has a little paint, but it's still clear. And usually the mirrors come really clear with this method. Okay, so I'm just going to put my glass rag back into my apron. Alright, so basically, I can use this normally, okay? Some people do the circle first, but I could go ahead and do this so I can have it out the way. That's how I like to do it. And so I would get my toothbrush. We're treating this as if this were origami bathroom. Remember that. Okay, so I have this, which is the vinegar water, and it has alcohol in it this time. And now I have pure alcohol. So now what I'm going to do is, as you can see here, if you can turn the light switch here. Some light switches have stuff in between the cracks, you know. And I found this out recently. I just spray it with the alcohol. Usually I would spray it with vinegar, but I'm going to do the alcohol this time. Sometimes you got to kind of shake it. It's because of the spray nozzle doesn't go with this bottle. Okay, you don't want it to drip on that paint either, so just make sure it doesn't drip much. And just go in between there, and the toothbrush usually works. The light's going to turn on and off and the fan, because you got to do all this. So, and sometimes it's around the edge, you know. But okay, then you just wipe like those areas You see how I did that? And yeah. Okay. I already did this one, so that's why there's really nothing on there. Alright, I'm gonna put the alcohol back because I'm all done with that for now. And so now I'm gonna take my vinegar water, and let's just say the door needs to be wiped down. I would or wiped up. I would spray my rag, and depending on how grimy the door is, I'd probably spray the door too. I probably spray the door too like this. And just, that's usually enough spray. And I just go around and actually make sure you get the handle because you're always touching the handles, you know, so they have bacteria. Let me get the other side real quick. Alright, so usually when there's dust, vinegar water will get this up really easily. Sometimes not really easily, but most of the time, yes. It depends on how grimy the door is, as I've said. And if you want to get really detailed, sometimes there is dust that gets here on the cracks and goes along the wall here or along this. And you just swipe it up. And usually it comes right off. We don't have any dirt on ours because I already did this when I first got here and moved in. So that's basically how you would do that. And these jobs, the more detailed jobs, of course, take a little longer than a basic. So, and I can show you guys a basic as well. So we could I can show you guys how to speed up the cleaning and still get maximum results. So I'm going to move to this. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this one as well.